Hey, Maria, back with another video. It's 1:38 p.m. It is January 2nd, 2019. And I didn't flub up and say 2018. You know, it's always like, you get confused as to what year it is because you're so used to writing 1 year or whatever. But yeah, it's 2019, and I'm aware of it. So anyway, I just got home a little while ago, and I had some lunch and took a shower. And, just kind of relaxing here, kicking back in my pajamas. Yes, early for the evening. But see, when you're in my situation, you go to bed early because you just can't deal with one more boring hour, one more than you have to deal with. So I usually try to go to bed like around 7. I may not fall asleep right away, but I just kind of sit back in bed and do some reading or whatever, and then but I just really don't want to do any activities after that time. I've just been real dragging it. But so you probably wonder, well, how the hell do you get along being so bored all the time? That is a very good question. I know that's what you were thinking. And I'm going to answer. I just kind of fiddle around a lot, I read here and there. I have lost interest in a lot of it. Not that I lost interest in some of the things that I used to really read into. Just I think I've read and heard enough about certain subject matters that I know enough. So it's like there's very little information that I can get anymore. So I'm trying to develop, things that I can really get interested in. But it's very hard because I hate the shit that people are into nowadays. I don't like the gossip. I don't like the, just the humor, just all of it. I hate it. It's like, man, tired. I'm sick of the modern world. I can understand why people become hermits and just like, screw all this. I understand. I'm not willing to do that myself, but I get it. I understand why people get like that. Anyway, so, I've been thinking about my messed up perps and their psychosis and their bullshit and how it's trickled down, and I'm living under their warped mental issues. And I'm just like, wow, I'm glad I talked about it, though. I really am glad that I've been talking about this issue. Only because it's like I feel like everybody knows what really happened. You know what I mean? And this bullshit has been going on for such a long time. And I realize how eager and willing people are to let a person who's innocent suffer. And they'll sit there and say nothing, knowing good and well that there was no justification or any of this bullshit. But, it makes you see people in a different light, like I've been saying before, And it's not that I don't want to be friendly or enjoy a conversation with people. It's just that, I am so aware of bullshit, that it exists and that it's prevalent, I'm very well aware of that. So, I keep my eyes open, which I have to say, now that you lose your innocence, and, some people say you losing your innocence is, it goes in stages or it goes on certain occurrences. Like, for example, some people say you lose your innocence when you and your best friend part ways. As you get to a certain age, your interests are different for whatever reason. And like you're in grade school and that's all fine. But when you get to junior high, you want to do something different. So you guys, that little long friendship that you had since kindergarten, it's kind of tapering off and you're moving on to different things. That's part of it, And then also, I think, a lot of times when women date their first guy and then they become betrayed or whatever. But I would say that you actually come full circle when people that have literally fucked your shit up and have no conscience in doing so. Okay? That is the most eye-opening experience, and it just shocks every cell in your body. You're just so shocked that people can be so goddamn fucking vile. You cannot get over the fact that somebody is willing to fuck your shit up. Knowing, especially the people that knew you for years and years and years and years, knowing that the kind of struggles that you went through when you were a younger kid, and then somebody's trying to do something for themselves and they just fucking knowingly squash your shit out. Yeah, that is the eye-opener. That is like when it just, wow, amazing. So, yeah, I've been through shock, anger, depression. I think the shock lasted the longest. The shock about, people just literally driving over you, backing up and driving over you again, that was just like, wow. Uncalled for. Uncalled for just because they fucking felt like it. Can you get that? Man, Jesus. My family issue. You know, I love old music, as you know, and a lot of the songs I listen to, you know, I've heard since I was a kid. And so, you know, I think some of it is, it's not nostalgic, but I'll sit there and think, man, this shit's been going on for so long. Like, when I first heard this song when I was a little kid, my family was probably plotting behind my back from the very get-go. You know? This is how the only way I can think at this moment, you know? So I am not innocent, okay? I'm not innocent, meaning I know enough about people and the nature of them for me to be, you know, as open-hearted and kind as I used to be. I'm not saying I'm a fucking bitch, but I certainly do have that potential. Okay? I certainly do. You know, I'm very well aware of the nature of people, and I don't want to hear about, you know, how they donate to certain charities. I don't want to hear about what good Christians they are, because none of that shit means anything. Okay, it's what you do and how you live your life is what really matters. So, all of that was very stunning for me. And then, you know, the issue of all the people who got involved, who had no business being involved, and some of it was just issues of feeling like, what the fuck what in the world would make you do something like this? Like, why would you do anything like this? Especially since people, I mean, really don't have a connection with and everything. So the more I think of thinking about honing in all this bullshit, it's just like, oh my God. But anyway, so Maria is what you would call somebody who's well aware. So anyway, but also, you know, but you know, my inner core, you know, is still the same. You know, I still have the same beliefs, still ideas, still whatever. I'm still the same person, okay? But it just makes me even more distant towards people and my concern about who I let into my life and who I don't, you know, and that's just how it has to be. But, you know, I still enjoy things, you know, I still enjoy, you know, my little arts and crafts and everything. I'm who I am. Okay, and I think a lot of this war that these people launched on me was some sort of bullshit of let me change and manipulate. I don't want to be like you, okay? Don't flatter yourselves. I do not ever want to be like you. Any of you. Thank you. So anyway, yeah. But, you know, it's funny because I like stuffed animals a lot. I do. And yes, I know they're not real, okay? But they're cute, they're lovable. They just sit there and you can project whatever kind of qualities, personalities, or whatever you want into these stuffed animals, and they're likable. I like stuffed animals more than I like people, okay? Seriously. You know, I have seen, as a matter of fact, I picked up a little stuffed bunny one time. I was walking down the street, and he was so cute. His face was all down and everything. His little cottontail was sticking up. I'm like, oh, it's so sad, right? I see people on the street and I don't really have the same compassion because at this point, you know, you're just too knowing about people. But yeah, stuffed animals are awesome. So I still enjoy those. You know, I'm just living my life, you know. And the thing is that when you have the truth on your side, when you know that what these people did to you was an injustice and that you know that you've done nothing wrong, and you can sit there and make over 800 goddamn videos over this issue and mention and throw out names and people like that, you know you have the truth on your side. Okay, so and everybody who knows me in this neighborhood or not this neighborhood, this town or whatever, who's seen me and who has been following this bullshit story since the very beginning knows deep and good and well I have nothing to reproach myself for. Okay, obviously this fucking bullshit has ended to a certain degree because I don't deal with the hostility that I used to. But I will tell you, when they dangle your life in front of you, it is very life-threatening to you. And it's very difficult for you to sit there and think that these people or I'm saying people in general, are warm and fuzzy. Okay, so your attitude changes a lot, you know. But, like I said, inside, I'm still the same person, but I'm just saying, don't give me shit. Don't give me shit because I will stand up for myself, okay? I will stand up for myself. And the fact that these people will never stand up to me and ever come in to confront me tells you how cowardice they are. I'm willing to go one-on-one, face-to-face, okay? Mind you, violence may ensue if it does, okay? Because I don't know if I could restrain myself from not wanting to choke these people's goddamn necks, okay? So moving right along. So I just had, you know, my lunch, And so I'm just kind of like, wondering what am I going to do next? I have been working on, making slippers. Yes, I like making slippers, okay? Slippers are easy and quick. They don't take very long, and they are a very needed item in my home. I have wood floors that I try keeping clean. I sweep and everything like that, which I need to run a mop across these wood floors. I just swept my, mopped my kitchen in my hallway and my bathroom, but these wooden floors need to be cleaned. But I need to get oil for that. I ran out. But anyway, I wear slippers throughout the house, throughout the entire year. Mainly, if I had a house with carpet in it, I probably wouldn't be doing that, okay? But these floors, it's not that they get overly dirty. It's just the fact that wood feels very kind of chilly on feet, okay? Aside from that, it does get dusty in here. Not dirty, but dusty, like the dust that comes in the vents and stuff like that. And I don't like having to scrub so hard my feet when I get in the shower. I mean, I scrub my feet every day, but I shouldn't have to sit here and like worry about this kind of weird soot that's on the bottom of them. I don't like that. So I make a lot of slippers, okay? And sometimes I buy slippers, but, I made some. So I'm still working on some. I got some fabric at the dollar store, which I, thinking, why didn't you just go to the Joann's? You can buy those little blankets that are made of pretty much the same material. They're a little bit more thinner, and they're not as nice quality as what you can get at the fabric store, okay? Because I did compare. But if you, double the fabric, you can pretty much get a few pairs, actually more than a couple. You can get about 10 pairs of slippers out of those little blanket rolls that they sell at the store. So I've made some slippers out of those. So I've been doing that, and of course I'm doing my knitting, and I'm just kind of biding my time. But I still deal with a lot of bitterness, and it's very difficult. It's almost like it is a lot of the PSTD or PTSD, sorry, post-traumatic stress disorder. It's kind of like that because you get a lot of triggers, okay, throughout the day. And you start thinking about how fucked up people are and whatever. And the very fact that you're knitting, I mean, I would knit anyway, but the reason why you're knitting like, 5 hats in basically 1 week is because you're pissed off and there's nothing else to do. And the reason why there's nothing to do is because you've been placed in isolation. Why? Because you've been fucked over by a bunch of people who had no right to do so. So it all comes back to that somehow, But anyway, yeah. So I think I'm going to wrap up this video. I really needed to just say something. I was upset. I get upset sometimes. And sometimes I need to talk and release it, And I release to some people on the phone that I've met on Facebook. I'm very glad that I've met them, And then sometimes, it's just something just comes to you and you just want to make a video about it or whatever. But yeah, I'm hanging in there, I'm hanging in there as best as I can and trying really hard to just kind of keep my mind off of it. But like I said, it's very hard to keep your mind off of it when every goddamn thing's going on in your life as a result of what, and so yeah, it gets to you a lot. You can't escape it. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll be back with another one some other time later. Bye-bye.